Hello. Welcome. Dare I say it? It's good to have you. I know in my post I made earlier, I did have some grandiose plans. Ultimately, those were not able to be met tonight. Got busy. I love you guys, but ultimately, I need to prioritize education over certain situations. Um, like if I were able to choose you guys over, anything, I would. I love and appreciate the hell out of you, but only so much I can do. Hopefully you understand. But I was able to watch the Colts game, and I know I said this on my post too, but I don't have a lot to say. Um, like I said, the real test to me doesn't start against the Cardinals, but probably starts against the Go Chargers, the Chargers. Not like the Chargers defense is great. In fact, the Colts have a schedule in which I'd say the best defensive team they play might be the Chiefs. If not the Rams or the Broncos, which kind of saw the results of that. But speaking of defense, the Colts hung 40 on the Raiders. Pretty good. I'm not going to lie, pretty good. Again, however, the concern I have with this team is the concern I've had all year with this team. Daniel Jones, having watched that full game, had a fine game. It's one of those games where stats don't necessarily accurately represent it. There were a lot of concerning misses from Daniel Jones, a lot of very, very, very short passes. His yards per attempt was about 7, if that. That was really inflated because there were a couple deep shots he took that were very, very deep. He had one to Josh Downs that was probably 40-ish yards deep. I think his longest completed pass was 35 yards. But he had one to Josh Downs that went way too long. He had a couple to Doolin that ended up being hospital balls, but luckily Doolin's a dog. That man could, go through what Rigoberto went through and be fine, like the GOAT Rigoberto. But no. If I had to say, on your average pass, with the exception to the rare bomb, I think his yards per attempt would have been 4 or 5. Now, ultimately, 20 for 29, Raiders gave it to him. But even on those misses, there were maybe 3, 4 deep shots at most. A lot of those misses were just thrown too high on a short pass. A lot of those misses were just underthrown on a short pass. A lot of those misses were just bad balls on short passes that ended up getting a guy smoked. Go back and watch that game. Doolin ends up getting smoked 3 times. I don't know what the beef is between the two. I know there's none, but just Daniel Jones was out there on his Derek Carr shit with Derek Carr did that on his Jimmy Garoppolo. I almost said Aaron Manning. I'm a Colts fan. I'm embarrassed, dude. But no, on his Garoppolo Manning shit. So, not great. But overall, fine game from him. And I know I said, speaking of defense earlier, the concern I've had with this team all year is this offense is not real. I'm sorry. I don't think it is. Jones is not going to have, I think he had 2 turnovers in that Rams game. Should have had at least 3, 4. But Jones is not going to have, 4 games in now? 5 games in? Jones is not going to have a combined 6 turnovers for the season, basically. 6, 7 turnovers for the season. I can guarantee you that's not going to be the case. Jones is not going to be 70% completion from the field. Jones is not going to have a 30, 35 touchdown season. It's not going to happen. Maybe I'm skeptical. But having checked the rankings earlier for each of the teams we went against, I can confidently say the defenses we've gone against are not good. Week 1, Dolphins. I believe they were ranked 29th. Week 2. Who did we play week 2? This is gonna bother me now. Hang on. Hang on. So I will say a lot of the balls Jones are throwing are still very, very underthrown. Little, not to be alarmist here, but, you know, I worry that's going to bite us in the butt at some point. Here we go. Let's see. Dolphins. Yeah, no, Broncos was weak too. I was right. Am I not signed in on here? Oh, that's why. Broncos, 145 points allowed. 28th. Mind you, we played against an injured Dolphins defense too. Not Broncos, sorry. Dolphins 28th. And we played against a injured Dolphins defense. Let's go to the Broncos. If it'll let me. Please. Please. Here's the reason I opened my eyes. New album's so shit, dude. So bad. That Denver Broncos game, they are currently ranked 13th in defense, but keep in mind, we played against a very injured Broncos defense. Zach Allen got hurt. Pat Surtain got hurt. DJ Jones was playing hurt, and they didn't have any other DTs playing. Jahdae Barron. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Jahdae Barron had to get some rare minutes in a position he's not used to playing. So, I mean, 15th, don't get me wrong, still not good, but a little bit fluky, even for the amount of points we hung up against even if it's a mediocre defense. 30 points against a mediocre defense would be rare. And it's against a mediocre defense that would have some guys lost. By the way, I think the Broncos defense will improve. I think it's just going to take a little bit of time. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I don't know. As has been a theme this season, maybe I'm just fucking wrong. Like, I don't know. Also played against the Tennessee Titans, which is the worst defense in football. Mind you, we played them with no Sweat, no... I guess I can just go to the box score. Do they not have injury reports on here? I don't know. No Sweat, a lot of injured players. You can go back and check the injury report. Like, their best players were out. But no, I mean, even still, worst defense in the league. Funny enough, Jones didn't have a crazy game that game. 18 for 25, 228, 9 YPA, 1 TD. I mean, a good game, don't get me wrong, but, you know, against the worst defense in the league, to be expected. Against a decent defense in the Rams, one that was dealing with a little bit of injuries, nothing too terrible, but even still, the 16th ranked defense, Jones did not have a good game, in my opinion. 24 for 33, 262, 8 YPA, 1 TD, 2 interceptions, should have been more. QB rating of 80. Not good. Not great. Mind you, against a mediocre defense, against a defense that still had a little bit of injuries, but far from a great defense. Ultimately, I feel like their defense has been a little bit disappointing this year. I thought they would take a bit of a leap, but guess I was wrong. And now against the Raiders defense, we will look. Sorry, taking a sec to load. 29th. So, safe to say, Colts have played against some shithouse defenses. Now, of course, I'm going to give them advantage for taking advantage of them.